So hi everyone, Craig Hanson here, and yes, we're looking at the enigma Mako Grady, who many say is an absolute genius, one of the best golf coaches of all time. Some say the best coach of all time, and he has worked with some incredible instructors, and he's been a great player himself. And well, there's stories and the quirkiness and off-course issues that this gentleman has had as sort of legendary stuff. So we're going to get in there in this video. I'm going to tell you some stories as we go, some of the stuff you won't believe what you hear. And we're going to have a look also at this incredible golf swing. You know, Johnny Miller's called him Dialer Shot Mac O'Grady, which actually isn't his real name. He was born Philip McClenow. And I think Ben Crenshaw said it was some of the best ball striking that he'd seen. He actually won twice on the PGA Tour, but retired really early due to back issues.
Shaft lean and compression, getting your body into the correct positions to be able to create great shaft lean and consistency of strike here. This video is going to open up your eyes. And we're going to have a look here at this key position at the top of the swing. The club head pointing above the ear, the right elbow on the original shaft plane, and the slot position, which I'm going to show you later on the video, this right elbow and how it works in the downswing. Just to slot this position, there's something in this video for everyone. We've got a lot of different drills here, people, because it's an area in the swing where when we tilt correctly and turn, the combination of tilt and turn needs to be appropriate. So I'm going to show you some drills here, how we tilt the body. There's a lot that really works in the background with a great swing. So I'm going to show you how you tilt the body. We're going to be looking at some of the key moves and explore an unbelievable video on technique. Mako Grady, I think you're going to find this really, really interesting. So guys, there's the PGA average at impact on the right side of the screen, the impact position, 4 to 6 inches of lateral shift. When we get into impact here, we're having a look around 12 degrees of shaft lean. 78 is 12 degrees of shaft lean, right? Now let's have a look at Mac. Now depending on how much lateral movement that you have in your swing, that'll determine how close you stand to the wall. So if you don't have a lot of lateral movement, you want to really compress your irons, good idea to stand up against the wall. If you're someone like Adam Scott or even McIlroy that have huge lateral shifts, they won't stand up against the wall because then they'd have too much, and they don't want that. So look at Mac on this side of the screen, right? We've drawn the line up. Now this is when he's a bit older, but just still an incredible motion. Now the top of the swing here, look at the chest extension. Now see how the chest here points up. As I said, we're going to have a look at that coming up. And this is a great way to get the tilts and your turns in your body. Now Mac is known for his compression, right? He has hit bullets, huge lateral shift. You be the judge. How much do you think? Right, when you look at 4 to 6 inches, have a look at that for a lateral shift into the golf ball. Now this guy had so much shaft lean. Scary, look at that. 17 degrees. Now we've got an app coming out, the only app in World Golf where on your phone you can draw lines with the angles. So have a look at that on WorldClassGolf.com. That's coming out soon. This move through the golf ball here, look at his right foot. Look at the unbelievable. He's got the Scotty Sheffield, a bit of a slide here. Now, one of the areas we've been looking at a lot in a lot of videos to help you get a checkpoint, obviously moving through the wall, but this one here, guys, look at this. You've got to be filming your swing with your mobile phones, right? You just have to. If I draw a line down the back of the ribs here, look where it lands. This gives you a really good guide of your extension. If you get it to land outside that front foot, chest is pointing up. And from this position here, guys, we're in a really, really good place to extend up, move through the golf ball with the side bend and neck tilt. So guys, this is where it gets really interesting from this side. Mako Grady is famous for his teachings from P1 to P10, right? The 10 positions in the golf swing. Sounds like a lot, right? But for coaches out there, we're talking about P4, P6, a real innovator, influencer. His teaching concepts were influenced by Homer Kelly from The Golf Machine. And The Golf Machine has just awesome information. Now, this is what Homer Kelly said, right? Demanding that golf instruction be kept simple doesn't make it simple. Only incomplete and ineffective. And it really is interesting when we're looking at what great coaches and great players work on compared to a lot of the YouTube stuff like clicking on and going from tip to tip. How many swing tips do you need? Another one? 2,300 swing tips. Right, have a look at this. He's taken away on the inside. What you would say is a little bit underneath plane in terms of modern teaching. But we've seen, right, so many of the world's best ever ball strikers. So if you look at the top 10 best ever ball strikers, how many have we seen them take a little bit underneath plane? I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying, like, if you're a senior player maybe, and you're out there and you're working on, you keep taking it on the inside a little bit, well, it has its advantages. And I've been helping a lot of people there with online instruction and understanding that part of the swing as well. Have a look at Victor Hovland. So, okay, right, now let's have a look at the top part of this backswing. So guys, this is an interesting one. How's this for resilience and persistence? Mac O'Grady missed 16 consecutive tour scores in a row. 16. And on the 17th time, he got his tour card. Now have a look at this club face position. Where's a point? Above the ear. All right, now this is so important for a lot of the normal club golfers, amateur players out there. This is easier. Now the story goes, instead of celebrating, right, he's a fitness freak, and like what he did is he went to a sports store, bought 16 baseball bats, wrote down the name of the year on each baseball bat where he'd missed the tour score. It was in the evening, it was dark, he drove to a nearby golf course and went up to a tree and smashed every single bat. It took him ages on these trees, like trying to beat the disappointment out of him. And he actually apparently got emotional, right, and he was out of breath. It took him ages. Now, there's a few inner demons there, right? Now, let's have a look at this position at the top, right? Let's have a look and a talk about the PGA average here. Now, getting at the top of the swing, the average on tour, it's good to know what the averages are, right, is 40 degrees. You get your shoulder tilt right. Now, let's have a look. They're always around about the same, 41. Amateurs are just miles away from this position. If you can position your arm on that plane, you get up to the top and you've got the club head over your ear, man, it's absolute gold. And we've got a swing style that we've put together so easy to understand. It's called Deep to Shallow on World Class Golf. I'm not kidding, and the feedback has been, WorldClassGolf.com, has been just simply overwhelming. Now, from this position here, guys, we're seeing the elbow. Watch his elbow here. Great players, they have this computer chip. He pushes the bottom part of that elbow in, shaves back down the original shaft plane, and we've got the slot. Now, I'm going to show you later on in the video how to do this. First off, right, we're going to have a look at the tilts and how to get the body to tilt, and then we're going to look at this right elbow. Have a look at the plane lines. Look how he controls the club head through the golf ball, and he's got that finish position where it's absolutely insane. Let's just have a look at that, because he was a huge fan here of Sam Snead, and you'll see the finish position here. Getting your neck tilt and your side bend, water dripping out of your right ear. You can turn hard through the ball, the water dripping out, right? That's a great thought to have. Let's move on now to some tilt exercises. And as I said, in the end, towards the end of the video, we're going to look at this elbow move. Guys, this is really going to give you a much better understanding of what's happening with pure technique. Is getting your chest to extend slightly upwards. Now this just creates such great structure in your swing. And what we're seeing with so many people, unfortunately, is they're not getting their torso, their chest in the right position. We're seeing them turn off the ball just a little bit, but around this area here, you can see that the chest will have the tendency to sort of point a little bit downwards. And what happens from there is they have to lift up the arms, and then they've just become a little disconnected. And we've lost our sequence and we've lost our structure. And by getting this body to extend correctly in both directions, where the chest is up and the chest is up, you're getting your tilts and your turns in a position that makes ball striking so much easier. World Class Golf Instructions improving golfers between 4 and 11 shots. Your swing analyst video is the same as this YouTube format, except with your swing on the screen. It goes between 15 to 30 minutes with tailored drills and exercises, a higher level of instruction at a cheaper price. 1,300 videos, 75 separate series. Reach out to us in the chat room and get on the path to playing your best golf. You'll get the palms pointed away from you and get your hands on an angle like this. So you're almost trying to create a right angle here. And what we do, we get the arms nice and straight. Get yourself in a really good position. This is a great drill. Put your left hand on top of your right hand. And when we move away, we're going to turn our bodies. Now these hands pointed away will help you get a little bit of extension also, but it's going to help you turn. And when we turn up to the top, try and keep those arms, to exaggerate this feeling, really straight. And if you don't turn, you'll get to about here and it will break down. You have to be able to keep extending, keep turning, getting this right side to move back. And this is a great area to be in. Now when you get to here, you can swap your hands over, right, and move through the golf ball. And you can get a feeling of your hips moving forwards and your upper body almost working backwards. And this is almost through the golf ball. It feels like we're holding something back that's heavy here. Keep your arms straight. So once again, right palm down, left palm on top. Turn that body. That's going to help you get some extension, right? Moving, swap the hands, move through the golf ball
and you'll feel like you've got more extension here and get some timing. It's when you actually get your arms and your legs in the right timing. So people, I really like this drill, and I'm going to go through a couple of things here for you. What you do is you put your lead hand on the club and just get the arm slightly bent. Get in your address position. It's always good to do your drills from a realistic position. Now what we're going to do is we're going to think about two things. We're going to get the lead eye to lower slightly on the way down and exaggerate that. We're going to turn the right shoulder behind us, and that's going to give us the extension and the rotation. Just have a look what I do here. Now, I'm going to do it through the ball as well. So when we turn, we just lower the cap, the lead side down, and we turn this right shoulder back behind. And you'll get a feeling of the chest then is pointing up. Okay? You can then take your golf club, it won't be as pronounced, but you can also just tilt that lead eye. It might look in the practice swing that you're slight reverse pivoting, but it really gets the feel. You need a feel before you hit a ball, right? This is what it's all about. So in the through swing, we're going to reverse this, right? You put the right palm or the right hand on top, and what we're going to do is we're going to get the right eye to move down, the trail eye moving down, and we're going to get the left arm straight. We're going to get your legs to move forwards, and we're going to get the chest to extend. Now you're going to keep this right eye down. Okay, so on the way back, you've got the left eye down, shoulder turning behind. On the way through, the lead arm straight, and we tilt the eyes down and we rotate so that the chest is pointing up.
So guys, right, your checkpoint, the lag wall, and getting inside the zone where the great ball strikers are. Let's have a look at this, because this is something different people don't look at. And this is why I'm helping so many people online. There's so many different parts of the swing that people need to understand better. When we get here, line straight up, this is out, around about 6 inches on the outside of the trail foot. We've got the amateur on the right, Macca Grady on the left. And what we do is we get an understanding of two things we need to do to get on the inside of the lag wall. One is to get this right arm, this elbow, in towards your ribs. And the other thing is to get the lateral shift with this lead hip moving forwards. All right, that's going to pull you in front of the wall. You see that all the great ball strikers, they take it away wide enough, they're on the outside of the wall, and then they close up the gap. And this is right, it's going to give you the shaft lean. The amateur players, they go on the other side, right? So their arm's too long. You see the big gap in between the elbow and the ribs here, and they're in all sorts of trouble because really, you know, when this shaft, the wider this shaft gets here, the quicker it lands on the ground, flipping it, no shaft lean, and they've just got this huge gap in here, okay? And this is just not what we're seeing with the great ball strikers. So when we look at the great players, when we go back, let's have a look at this, because it's a fascinating area. Professional golfers on the outside, moving laterally, closing up the gap. Now, it doesn't have to be jammed into your body. There can be a little bit of room there. You see, just a tiny bit of room from Sam Snead here, one of the best ball strikers ever. But it's the place that we're seeing all the great hitters. Okay, so getting a checkpoint, understanding what they're doing, getting inside the averages of movement. I'm going to drill coming up, I'm going to show you in a second. See Jack Nicklaus, very wide takeaway, and then closed up the gap. And it's not stark. I think people think it's stark, but if you're looking at player after player, it can't be wrong, right? The lateral shift, pulling it in, look at the muscles working, pulling down the back and getting into this position here, guys. Great drill, great way to move through the golf ball and get the speed happening in the right spot. I do have a quick video here of Ben Hogan. Have a look at this. Have a look at the hat on that lady in the background there. Check that out. Right, have a look at the elbow into the side here. And this is storing up the energy. Watch the foot and the knees extending up and smashing through the golf ball. Right, guys, let's have a look at a great drill, a way to practice, a way to feel this. Reach out to me on World Class Golf Instruction. You get online lessons in conjunction as a bonus. There's 1,400 videos, 85 separate series, improving golfers between 4 and 11 shots. Right, let's get stuck into it. We need to get some pressure on the golf ball. We want to stop standing up on it and flipping it. Now, this position, what I'm talking about is really from the top of the swing, this elbow closing up and this lead leg having some flex in it. Now we want to be just pushing slightly downwards, closing up this gap from the top of the swing. The wider that you have this gap,
the more that you lose angle, the more that you'll tend to stand up and flip fat shots, thin shots. And when this lead leg remains bent, it will tend to move further forwards. If it straightens too quickly, we tend to spin out of it and we get some troubles there, and lack of compression. Moving slowly down, there's your exercise, closing up the gap and having some bend or some flex in that lead leg. It's just such an important area, bringing this club down. It helps us recenter, and you've got plenty of time then later to straighten. We're not straightening up too early with this lead leg. You're gonna get yourself in a lot of different troubles there with your iron shots.